Welcome to Cloud Oasis blog, and thank you for joining me on today Under 5 Tech Talk. My name is Hal Yaman and I am a Microsoft MVP based out of Sydney. On the next 5 minutes, I will help you to get started with the new Veeam Azure Archive tier support. We will start with creating Azure Resource Group, create Azure Storage account followed by 2 blob storages. One will be used for a cloud tier and one will be used as the archive tier. And then we will add these 2 blob storage to the Veeam backup and replication. And we will end up by configuring the Veeam Scale-out backup repository and see how that will be leverage the 2 blobs that we created. So a lot to learn and we have only 5 minutes. So let's get started. Okay, let's log into the Azure portal. From the search menu, we can get to the resource group. Let's create one, and we're going to call it Under 5. And we will place it on Australia East and create. That's it, the resource group is being created. Now time to create the storage account by pressing on Create Resource. Choose Storage Account. We will place it in the subscription, the resource group that we just created. Name the account as Under 5 account. We will place it on, again, Australia East. Standard, we'll keep it at the storage version 2. And I will keep it in the local redundant. I'll have it as a hot, and I will create. Okay, the resource being created now. Let's go to the resource. Under container, create a container. First one will be the cloud tier. Keep it private, create. And the second one will be the archive tier. Private, create. And with that, we created the 2 containers. The next thing we need is to get the access keys. So we have the access keys, so let's create a file. So let's copy the storage account name and the key. We'll save the file. Now we finish with Azure. Let's open Veeam console. Go to the backup infrastructure, repositories. Let's create the first one, which will be the cloud tier, blob storage. And with the account, we will use the account name and the key. And we will use the proxy server as the gateway. Next, the container cloud tier. And let's create a directory. And finish. The second one will be creating the archive tier. We'll use the same account. This time will be the archive tier, and we'll create the folder. In this stage, we have to create a proxy appliance to convert the backup from the cloud tier to the archive tier. On this subscription, customize the size, the resource group. Let's keep it on the Under 5, and I will keep everything's default. Press next and finish. The last step is to create the Scale-out backup repository. We'll choose the extend. We'll keep it as the default data locality, capacity tier, cloud tier, and the last step is choosing the archive or enable the archive checkbox. And finish. And with that, we just completed the configuration of the new Veeam Azure Archive tier support. So let's review what we learned on this session. In today's session, we learn how to create Azure Resource Group, how to create a storage account, followed by creating 2 blob storages. Then we integrate these 2 blob storages and connect them to the Veeam backup and replication. And we end up by creating the Scale-out backup repository and configure the Scale-out backup repository to use the archive tier and cloud tier. And with that, we finish the Under 5 session for today. Thank you very much for having me with you today, and be tuned for the next session.